Hey teammates, how are you guys? Long time no see. Swenyspeed. I just want to make this video to tell you a little bit about what's been going on and to tell you why I am fucking tired of Mad Max right now. First of all, many of you guys may have noticed that I haven't been posting at all in a long time, and I'll get to that towards the end of this video. It's been a few months for me, and I owe some explanations to a few of you guys. Some of you guys, you know, go fuck yourselves, but a few of you guys, yeah, totally. And I want to talk to you about that. Before that, let's talk about Mad Max. Let's talk about why I'm playing it first of all, and then we'll go through the easy stuff. It's kind of an easy game to play mindlessly, and you know, just jump in and get it done. These clips here you're seeing are me taking over a fairly easy base towards the beginning of the game. You take over these camps. Like right now, I'm supposed to destroy an oil pump, and eventually it'll reward you with more scrap. And by taking over these bases and giving them to your allies, threat in the area is reduced. Like bad guys on the roads and stuff like that go away. You know what? Let's start with easy stuff. Let's start with the positives. Let's start with the positives here. I've been excited for this game for a while. Those of you who maybe remember some of my really old videos will know that I've been talking about this in some of the old Sleeping Dog videos and stuff like that. I just kind of like this style of combat. This you know, Batman. Let's call it. Let's just talk about it like the Batman Arkham style combat for now. First of all, the graphics in this game are amazing. It looks great. It's fantastic. And, you know, I kind of expect nothing less. But I was pleasantly surprised. And the cars look cool. Mad Max looks cool. You know, the enemies look pretty sick. They're varied as far as what they look like. The enemies are. They're not varied as, like their mechanics, though. There's a couple, like, you know, there might be a guy who has a knife or something that you can't dodge. Or a guy that has a bat that, you know, you can't dodge and you have to roll away from, or you have to time a counter just right. And here you see what I was talking about with that, some of that Batman style combat. You know, you have to press Y to counter at the right time, then you have to follow up with a counter attack. But basically, that's all it is in this game. A few different enemy types, you know, a guy with a shield, but there's no, you know, crazy things. You have a gun you can use, and you have a shiv to instantly kill someone if you've got them reeling. But the combat gets really repetitive very fast, especially when you're doing a lot of bigger fights. Basically, the difficulty of the combat just gets ramped up because, like, they just throw more enemies at you. I'm just gonna cut through that part. That part there was just me running around and trying to scavenge a whole bunch of shit. And this game is all about scavenging. I mean, it's kind of a time sink because every place you go to, every camp you go into, every stronghold you're in, there's a whole bunch of scrap you need to find. And, you know, sometimes I can be a little too crazy about that, like finding all the scrap 100% for every stronghold. But the thing is, scrap is very important in this game, and you need it, especially when you start upgrading your car, which you need to do to win races and stuff. It costs so much scrap. And yeah, I mean, it forces you to really dig around and stuff. And that sounds great. It sounds awesome until it just becomes tedious and repetitive. I mean, kind of like that Assassin's Creed style of just collectibles, except you have to do it, and if you don't, you're eventually going to get to a point where you're behind. The sound is decent, very kind of punchy, thuddy. The hits sound like they really hurt. The cars are just sound angry. I mean, engine noises rule this game. Even the menus and stuff have a whole bunch of engine noises or like metal on metal scraping sounds. I mean, feels kind of testosterone driven and like gasoline all over it. You know, the main problems I'm having with the game are the gameplay and the story, and that's not where you want to have problems. You know, like I was saying, the gameplay gets really repetitive with the fighting. It wants to be Batman. It's not, and that's fine. You know, I can overlook that, but I love that style of fighting. Car combat is pretty fun. You know, like taking out convoys and stuff like that. But the driving in general just feels really squishy to me, and you're munching over rocks and stuff. And I understand you gotta suspend your disbelief a little bit, but just wasn't feeling it, you know. It's not my style of thing. And one of the biggest issues is that the wasteland, you know, it's huge, but despite how large it is, it's just nothing to do. I mean, there's all these places to scavenge and like camps to check out, but it's just like you go there, you make sure you collect all the scrap like you see on the screen here, and once you do, that's it. There's but there's no life to it. There's no, like, oh, the wasteland just kind of feels okay. You think of other open world games. I shouldn't be bringing the GTAs into this, but that you feel like there's a living, breathing world around you. This is kind of like, all right, there's bad guys on the road. I need to get bad guys off the road, so I need to take over more camps in the area. And I need to take over 2 more camps to do the next story mission. Done. All right, and that's really it. Just 1 second, looking at my notes. Yeah, finding stuff sucks. Replay value, that's a point I wanted to hit here. Typically I want to touch on, the replayability of games when I do just a talk like this. Good luck finishing it once. I know many of you guys have a lot more time than I do, but this game is a long game to beat. I mean, it's well into that 30-hour range on how long to beat to finish the game. And plus, for most of you guys, I'm a working class adult, I have stuff to do. Time is a major issue. Younger people, hey man, if you have the time, go for it. It's a pretty cool game, but it's just it's a great time sink if you have time. If you don't have time, then there are other games with much more substance, with less. Anyway, I mean, and there's like death races and stuff you can do for better times and things, but it really doesn't matter in the long run. So my personal opinion, not great. Not great. It's a nice time filler game. If you don't want to think too much, and that kind of leads into what I was going to talk about as far as like, what I've been doing. And some of you have noticed that I haven't been posting a whole lot, and there's a couple new reasons for that. I recently got a new job. I work in the education field. I'm not going to say much more than that, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's just a lot going on. And I also at the same time went back to college. So this is you take over a camp like this, and now it's going to be unlocked for allies. I went back to college, and man, that shit's hard, dude. I didn't get a degree when I was younger, and here I am in my early to mid-ish 20s, depending on what mood I'm in. And I'm going back, to make the parents proud, and just takes the time right out of you. You spend the time there, and then spend most of my weekends doing schoolwork. And if I wasn't doing this right now, I'd be doing work. So thanks for giving me a break, guys. I've got a pretty big backlog of videos. I've been actually recording videos with a friend of mine, and I'll make sure to post his channel in the link below. I've got some videos that I want to, his name is Mr. Kimbo, but I want to make sure to put them out. Gosh, I've been so lazy recently as far as getting on the channel, and I don't know why. My heart just hasn't been there, even though I love doing this, and I love making these videos, and I just love the medium in general. It gives me a place to talk. But it's just, when a lot of stuff's going on in your life, it's just hard. So I really want to get back there. Give me some time. And if you've listened to this video long enough, then hey man, you're for real. And I love you, and you should know that. Oh man, one other big thing I've been doing too, as I started working out, like actually really working out, going to a gym, but also researching plans and stuff. If any of you guys want to get in shape or start lifting or anything, check out Strong Lifts 5x5. It's a beginner workout program. And it'll make you squat like a champion. And before this, I hadn't really ever done squats, but god damn, my legs are machines now. And if you guys ever want to get in shape, man, Google it, look it up. You'll feel like a badass in a month, I swear. And so one last thing I want to touch on before I start wrapping this video up is, I know I haven't been active recently, but this is something I really enjoy. And I'm going to be here, sporadic or not. And my videos will be coming up here and there and wherever, and hopefully sometimes more consistently than others. And it's really nice just sometimes to sit down and speak into the ether. Like I know I'm talking to real people, and real people are listening to me, but never met you. A good chance I probably will never meet most of you. And something about that's kind of awesome. It's kind of like shouting into a crowded room, and you can say anything you want because, for the most part, it all works out. So for those of you who are here right now, thank you guys so much, and I'm happy that you're here, and you're giving me an experience. Oh man. So back to the game real quick. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm missing a piece of scrap as I'm scavenging this place, and I ran around this rock thinking like, is it over here? No, I'm overthinking it, so I run back over here. So eventually I end up getting on top of that rock, where, I don't know if you saw the sign up on top, and found out that is where everything was, and it just annoyed the shit out of me because it's just kind of this hunt and peck kind of stuff. A lot of the game is, you know, I'm well into the game now, but a lot of it is, oh, running around doing this, doing that. So if you need something to do to fill some time, you got a lot of time on your plate, played Mad Max. Don't have a whole lot of time on your plate. You have a job, you have a family, you have, you know, a pretty busy life. Ooh, there are games with much more fun, concentrated content in a shorter time frame. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. You know, I don't want to say like, oh, it was horrible, but I think you can tell by how it sounded. It hasn't been my favorite so far, but it is nice, you know, in between homework assignments to just bust something open, maybe go take over a camp, and then forget about it and come back to it later. I've been Swenyspeed. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Later.